The few times humorists have scored Academy Gold, a short list of comedic Oscar winners. What makes a performance Oscar-worthy? Many often leap to sustained emotional investment or comprehensively immersive transformations as the benchmark for success at the Academy Awards. But if the Oscars celebrate the performances that elicit the strongest emotional responses, then why do show-stopping comedic performances so often receive the cold shoulder?
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
There is a relatively easy answer to this question, found within the progression of American film across the past half-century. Cinema throughout the 1930s, 40s, and 50s saw the proliferation of genre filmmaking, with behemoths like the musical, western, epic, and comedy reigning supreme. During these decades, all of these styles saw success both popularly, as cherished classics amongst the general public, and prestigiously, as consistent award show champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, in New York City, Miss Audrey Hepburn in Roman Holiday.
It soon became clear this era, however, had been built upon a bubble, bursting alongside the studio system that had championed them, and making way for the age of deconstructive experimentalism within the new wave. With the rise of genre-bending independent cinema, the Oscars began shifting focus to recognize less and less holdouts from Hollywood's bygone era.
We've got to protect our phony baloney job, gentlemen. We must do something about this immediately. Hurrah.
It became an unspoken rule that genre performances, be they in horror, science fiction, or indeed comedy, weren't up to snuff with the show or its standards. The performances listed below are the foremost exceptions that prove that rule from the past 40 years. Mira Sorvino, Mighty Aphrodite, 1995.
And I remember thinking to myself, I like acting. I want to study.
Love him or hate him, and there are more than enough reasons to land squarely on the latter, Woody Allen has directed more female Oscar-winning performances than any other director in history. This is undoubtedly a result of the exceptional actresses the director has been lucky enough to work with over the past 40 years, including the likes of Diane Keaton, Mia Farrow, Diane Wiest, Cate Blanchett, Penelope Cruz, Scarlett Johansson, and the surprise breakout star of his offbeat romantic comedy told through the lens of an ancient Greek chorus, Mighty Aphrodite, 1995, Mira Sorvino.
Do you want something to drink?
Maybe can you have a little Perrier or something?
What?
Just a little tap water or something.
Oh, sure, I have that.
Daughter of Goodfellas 1990 star Paul Sorvino, Mira turned plenty of heads, including those within the Academy, with her star-making role as the kind-heartedly aloof adult film actress Linda Ash in Allen's interestingly inventive farce. Jack Palance, City Slickers.
This man owes you an apology.
On paper, Ron Underwood's hilariously 1991 spoof on the Western genre, City Slickers, could very well be offered up as an antonym for the prototypical Oscar film. The film, which stars Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, and Bruno Kirby as three friends nearing 40 in desperate need of an adventure who sign up for an authentic Old West cattle drive, often utilizes a campy slapstick style to eke out laughs that Academy voters often appear allergic to.
Throw a rope on this one so we can go after the others. Rope them.
I'm not good at it. I have a roping disability.
But it meshes its more goofy humor with a wholeheartedly surprising earnestness and meaningful rumination on the worn-out cliché of the midlife crisis. This drastic shift in tone and sincerity is possible in large part because of the performance of the legendary Jack Palance as the iconic elderly cowboy with a heart of gold, Curly. The 73-year-old actor famously broke out in a set of one-armed push-ups during his acceptance of the award, a moment that has grown to become one of the funniest and most recognizable moments in Academy history.
Does she do it herself, or do you have to help her?
I'll hold her down. You deliver the calf.
Excuse me?
Cuba Gooding Jr., Jerry Maguire, 1996. Speaking of iconic acceptance speeches in the history of the Academy Awards, it does not get more memorable than Cuba Gooding Jr.'s rallying celebration at the 1997 show. The actor won the award for his role as the egomaniacal professional football star Rod Tidwell in Cameron Crowe's romantic sports comedy Jerry Maguire in 1996.
Show me the money.
Gooding Jr. starred alongside heavyweights like Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger, but ultimately proved the film's greatest asset, hysterically delivering the now iconic line, "Show me the money." When he won the award, the actor launched into an impassioned chant as the exit music began playing in attempts to make him wrap up, hollering his love to the cast, crew, and roarous audience as he leapt with joy. Alan Arkin, Little Miss Sunshine, 2006.
I paid my money, they took my money, I should be able to do what the fuck I want.
He started snorting heroin.
You started snorting heroin?
I'm old!
Alan Arkin won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in 2006, a whopping 38 years since his last nomination for The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, 1968, and an even 40 since his first nomination for the rollicking The Russians Are Coming, 1966. Arkin won for his portrayal of the crotchety grandfather of the Hoover family in Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Faris' brilliant tragicomedy Little Miss Sunshine, 2006. In a movie chock full of near-perfect and nuanced performances from the likes of Steve Carell, Toni Collette, Greg Kinnear, Paul Dano, and an exceptional turn from a 10-year-old Abigail Breslin, Arkin wound up being the only one to score the Golden Statue at that year's awards.
You took a big chance. It took guts, and I'm proud of you.
Like with Gooding Jr., Arkin's performance is best remembered by one simple line. When Breslin's Olive expresses fear over losing the titular Little Miss Sunshine contest, Arkin responds with the simple yet profound remark, "A real loser is someone who is so afraid of not winning, they don't even try." Cher and Olympia Dukakis, Moonstruck, 1987.
Look, let me just come and talk to you. Animal! What an animal!
After first proving herself as a serious actress in the likes of Robert Altman's Come Back to the Five and Dine, Jimmy Dean, 1982, and Mike Nichols' Silkwood, 1983, celebrated singer, songwriter, and goddess of pop Cher finally crossed over to the more comedic side of cinema in Norman Jewison's offbeat romantic comedy Moonstruck, 1987. This transition catapulted her to the Best Actress award that year for her comically conflicted portrayal of Loretta Castorini, an Italian bookkeeper in New York who falls in love with her fiancé's outrageous brother, played by Nicolas Cage in one of his earliest forays into absolute absurdity.
What's that smell?
I'm making you a steak.
I don't want it.
You'll eat it.
Olympia Dukakis took home the Best Supporting Actress award that year, as well, for the role of Loretta's sarcastic yet sincere mother, Rose. Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019. The most recent win on this list. 2019 saw a long-awaited Oscar go to Brad Pitt for his instantly iconic role of stuntman Cliff Booth in Quentin Tarantino's ode to 1969 Tinseltown, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019.
How'd your little talk with George go? Are we kidnapping him?
Not the word I'd use.
Well, now that you've talked to him, do you believe everything's all right?
Not exactly.
Pitt starred opposite Leonardo DiCaprio's Rick Dalton, a fading movie star kept from a complete nervous breakdown by his stoic best friend Cliff. The pair embark on a purposely lackadaisical journey to the City of Stars, bringing them face to face with the looming specter of Charles Manson and Margot Robbie's Sharon Tate. Pitt utilizes his underrated chops as a comedic actor in the film, choosing for a less obvious and more natural form of camp that truly helps tie the movie together and help it along to its exceptionally poignant conclusion.
Whoa, whoa. Hey.
I'm sorry about that.
Here, put these on. Don't cry in front of the Mexicans.
Marissa Tomei, My Cousin Vinnie, 1992. In one of the most unexpected wins in the Academy's history, unknown actress Marissa Tomei scored Best Supporting Actress in 1993 for a completely comedic performance in Jonathan Lynn's waggish legal comedy My Cousin Vinnie, 1992. Tomei portrayed the instantly recognizable Mona Lisa Vito, the loud-talking, leather-clad fiancé of Joe Pesci's cartoonish lawyer, Vincent Gambini.
What was in that pink plastic thing in the trunk?
It's your suit.
What is my suit doing in the trunk?
I had it clean. I thought it'd be a nice surprise. Go in there with a nice clean suit.
The pair travel from Brooklyn down to Alabama to represent Vinnie's cousin, played by Ralph Macchio, who was arrested and put on trial for a murder he did not commit while on a college road trip. Tomei's win is still marveled at today, remaining wholeheartedly hilarious and completely unlike any performance to take home the award.
Objection, Your Honor. Can we clarify to the court whether the witness is stating opinion or fact?
This is your opinion?
It's a fact.
Olivia Colman, The Favorite, 2018. Many who watched Greek director Yorgos Lanthimos' morbid period piece, The Favorite, 2018, may protest to its classification as a comedy. But while the humor may be subversive and internal, Olivia Colman's pitch-perfect performance as Queen Anne is one of the most grotesquely hilarious to ever be committed to film. If Tomei's win shocked the world, then Colman's nearly gave them a heart attack, as she beat out assured favorite and 7-time nominee Glenn Close for her role in The Wife, 2018.
We will sue for peace with France immediately. I have spoken. All depart.
The film transported audiences back to 18th century England, though not like they had ever seen it before, as Lanthimos injected contemporary wit and pitch-black heart into the film, alongside his typical eccentricities. Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz co-starred as bitter rivals, courting the Queen and vying for power in a delectably vile and consistently engaging romp that allowed Colman to finally break through amongst general audiences.
None for the Queen. What? Well, you cannot have hot chocolate. Your stomach. The sugar inflames it.
Kevin Kline, A Fish Called Wanda, 1988. Beat for beat, the funniest performance to ever win an Academy Award, Kevin Kline's work in Charles Crichton's side-splitting British heist comedy A Fish Called Wanda, 1988, is remarkable to this day. Kline played the psychopathic weapons expert and Anglophobe Otto West, who teamed with Jamie Lee Curtis's conniving Wanda Gershwitz and an untrustworthy crew to steal a collection of diamonds, leading them into an outrageously funny series of mishaps and mayhem.
Jerk. Don't ever call me stupid. And I'm not jealous.
Then leave.
Okay. A nice place.
Written and produced by its star John Cleese, a member of Monty Python and writer of both Monty Python and the Holy Grail, 1975, and Monty Python's Life of Brian, 1979, the film goes for a distinctly British sense of humor, interrupted by Kline's characteristically American Otto. For reference, one could imagine Steve Carell's Michael Scott from The Office US, 2005-2013, be injected into the show's vastly different predecessor, Ricky Gervais's The Office UK, 2001-2003.
Superior, so fucking superior with those phony accents. Not you, Ken. You've got a beautiful speaking voice when it works.
Roberto Benigni, Life is Beautiful, 1997. While this may, admittedly, be a slight bending of the rules, Roberto Benigni's timeless performance as Guido Orefice in the immortal classic Life is Beautiful, 1998, is one of the most tragically joyous to ever be captured on film. Benigni wrote, directed, and starred in the film about a whimsical Jewish bookseller in Italy, living life in his own little fairy tale, who was abruptly deported to a concentration camp alongside his entire family at the outbreak of World War II. While at the camp, Guido attempts to convince his terrified son that the entire experience is actually part of a special game, doing all that is in his power to keep the smile from fading from his son's face for good. It is an undoubtedly heavy, and at points almost unbearably tragic, but what makes the film unique is Benigni's impossibly endearing performance as Guido, which somehow keeps a smile on the audience's face, even as the tears begin flowing down their cheeks.
Una bella frittata. Arrivederci, Eleonora. I miei omaggi, principessa. Arrivederci.
Of all the enduringly special moments across all 93 Academy Award shows, it is possible that none eclipse that of Benigni galloping across the seat tops between himself and the stage to accept the award for Best International Feature. The same unshakable grin of joy spread across every face in the theater and watching it home in perpetuity.
you.